Hi, Randy Pierce here. Thanks for joining this webinar series. Hopefully you took the first step and ordered the book Clean It. If not, go to www.wwcir.com and get it. Here I am going to share my story and the techniques that took me to the top, to have a number one rated company, to do $230,000 plus in sales with one truck, one technician, to also have time to spend with my wife, to do things with my children, to coach them in sports, and also to have time for me, which means you'll have time for you so that you can fulfill your dreams. This should be a way to increase your income so that you can have more time to do the things you want. So go grab a pencil and or a pen, get some paper, and get ready to take some notes for this life-changing event. Okay, let's get started. First, a little bit about me. I started my business, Superior Steam Cleaners, in 1992 from scratch. I then sold it in 2014 for $200,000. I then became a full-time instructor for ChemSpec and the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration. I'm a master textile cleaner, master water restorer, and a master fire restorer. It has been said I am lucky. I am here to tell you luck comes from planning, having a map. I wrote a book called Clean It. It went number one in two categories, marketing and consulting, in the first 2 weeks it was released. That's what these whole webinars are about, is breaking that down to a little more details for you. Does this sound like you? Are you working way too hard for not enough money? Are you stuck and can't seem to move forward? Is your cash flow inconsistent? How much time are you spending in survival mode, just trying to get by? None of these things are the problem. If you had regular work, your schedule would be full. You could raise your prices and you could get paid what you are worth. You could get out of survival mode. My goal here is to make your life more enjoyable and more profitable, to ease your highs and your lows, and to free you up to do the things you want to do. Okay, let's get started. First, a little bit about me. I started my business, Superior Steam Cleaners, in 1992 from scratch. I then sold it in 2014 for $200,000. I then became a full-time instructor for ChemSpec and the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration. I'm a master textile cleaner, master water restorer, and a master fire restorer. It has been said I am lucky. I am here to tell you luck comes from planning, having a map. I wrote a book called Clean It. It went number one in two categories, marketing and consulting, in the first 2 weeks it was released. That's what these whole webinars are about, is breaking that down to a little more details for you. Does this sound like you? Are you working way too hard for not enough money? Are you stuck and can't seem to move forward? Is your cash flow inconsistent? How much time are you spending in survival mode, just trying to get by? None of these things are the problem. If you had regular work, your schedule would be full. You could raise your prices and you could get paid what you are worth. You could get out of survival mode. My goal here is to make your life more enjoyable and more profitable, to ease your highs and your lows, and to free you up to do the things you want to do. All right, so let's get started. Today we're going to talk about RIGHT. R stands for relationships, I stands for implementation, the G stands for guide, and the H and T stand for higher training. So if you're just getting ready to start your company, we're going to help you build it faster. If you've already have a company, we're going to help you fine tune it, show you some different ways, and hopefully open up your thought processes to some better ways of doing business. R stands for relationship. My core belief is that relationships are important. People are important. My primary desire is to touch people's lives so that I can help raise their level of understanding about business and life. If you're looking for work, or if you are building a business, you need to start by making a list of people you know. What kind of work do you do? What do you want to do? Think of everybody you know. This list is the beginning. Most people think of how they can help themselves. I need you to make a paradigm shift and think about those that you can give to first. The real question is, how can you help them? Zig Ziglar once said, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. This has been my mantra for probably my whole time in business. Now that you have listed all your friends and family, the next action item is to list their friends. Facebook is a great tool for this purpose. The goal is to key in on people in your field that may have connections to the kind of work you are looking for. For example, if cleaning high-end homes is what you want, then you may want to look for real estate agents that are in the high-end, water restoration professionals, insurance agents. Dry cleaners have been a great place for people to go to. Places where those kind of people would hang out or shop. When you have been able to identify the companies you want to work for, find out who works for these companies. How can you do that? The best way is to make a connection with employees of companies you want to work for is to connect with them on LinkedIn. LinkedIn will give you access to people in just about every industry. Networking via social media is a process, however. It is a valuable time well spent. If you take the time to develop these relationships by building communications and connections through your network of associates, you will eventually find people who will be willing to do work with you for mutual benefit. Facebook and LinkedIn are only two of the many resources that are available to you. Research other methods that are conducive to your industry. Always be sure to seek out references before working with someone. It's always a good idea to make sure that the people you are working with are credible and have the best intentions. Every relationship you develop should be based on integrity and reciprocity. Find ways that you can help be of value to whatever projects that may be working on, or refer them to someone who can make a difference in their career. It's only natural for the person to reciprocate in kind and make an effort to assist you as well. There are also programs out there that can help you, such as Constant Contact. I use the Carpet Cleaning Dashboard. If you want more information on that, you can visit marylandcarpetcleaning.net/dashboard. For restoration companies, you want to register with ourcicityservices.com. That's part of the Allstate group. I have one contact that says they get 3 to 5 jobs per week from just them. Another way to maximize your networking efforts is to write down your own newsletter. Send out a newsletter once a month via email, and then every 3 months send it in the mail. It's nice to get something in the mail, but with email now, you can take up some of that, help save some of the costs. We found that to be effective, but the object is to stay in touch with people. If I could give you just one word of advice for all your marketing and for building relationships, it's consistency. Consistency can bring you multiple jobs in a very short period of time. If you establish a cold calling route for your business, for example, it is important that you visit each contact consistently. Set a goal for yourself to visit at least 5 companies a week. The businesses could include insurance adjusters, property managers, real estate agents, carpet stores, plumbers. The list can go on and on. Dry cleaners, all these type things. Once you've made your introductions on LinkedIn or Facebook or through other social media, you have been giving them some useful information to help them. So you need to give them some information first. Give them something that's going to help them, that they find useful. Okay? Now you go ahead and ask for that face-to-face meeting. Set an appointment so that you can meet them and members of their organizations. When you show up for the meeting, it would be nice to take some cookies, cake, donuts, something to set the proper tone. Your host will perceive that you genuinely care about them, and the gesture will be appreciated by everyone you meet. Make certain that your calendar reflects an on-scheduled visit, once per month, just to drop off some cookies, or something else, flowers, anything. This could be the second Tuesday of every month for this particular company. If possible, find out when the organization conducts employee trainings, sales meetings, or any other events where employees will be present and offered to provide lunch. Ask them if you could take a few minutes of their time. This could be the best possible opportunity for you to meet everyone. The impression you leave from this encounter will determine the outcome of how effective the relationship will be for you. Be sure to review your presentation beforehand. You may want to ask how you can help them and their business. Take a few moments to tell them about yourself. When they speak, listen and take notes, as well as their names. Be sure to thank them for their time. When you come back next month, ask if you were able to solve their problems. This is a good time to introduce your referral program. You may offer a 10-15% appreciation reward for any referrals they give you. When I offered this program in my business, I sent a certificate that could be used or passed on to others, cashed in, or used for future work. If you use this approach, please be prepared for the likelihood that 85% of your certificates will end up in the trash, never used. Most people will just want recognition given to them for the day that you help them. To reciprocate, you help them. We also like to send flowers, cards, things like that. Think outside the box. Cookies are great. I've got a few companies that really like cookies. But try to get outside the box of what you're doing. Don't just, send the same thing every month. Try and make it something unique, something that goes with that month. With some event that's going on that month. Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day, things like that. Okay? The next time you meet with this contact on your route, remember whatever you can that is important to them. Ask about their child in school and the play they were in. Remember the college their children went to and the hobbies they enjoy. The goal is to make them the center of your attention and show them you care. As you engage with these new associates in this way, they will want to talk about you and reciprocate your kindness. The real objective here is to sell without selling. You're a friend, a problem solver, a professional, and a helper. Again, there's a lot more in my book, some examples and stuff that you can get into, which will take it a lot deeper. I'm going to share one of them. I was with the Boy Scouts. I was a Boy Scout leader, and I'd cleaned this lady's carpet, and I happened to notice that there was a lot of relics from the Civil War era. So I was cleaning her carpet and saw this stuff, and about 6 months later, we were going to do a hike on the Civil War down in Maryland. So I gave her a call. I said, hey, I remember your husband was in this. Is there any way I could talk to him and see if he'd be interested? Well, he was not only interested, he just overwhelmed us. He talked to a bunch of guys, got a bunch of different uniforms. All 15 of the scouts were able to dress up in uniforms, carry the backpacks from that era, carry the rifles and stuff. They got to really experience and live it. Now, that didn't really help build my business, right? Well, here's what happened eventually. They remembered that. Those scouts remembered that. One of those scouts went on to become an Eagle Scout and was very active in his church and his community. And then he started buying homes. And as he bought these homes, he needed the carpets cleaned. He needed things done. They were rental properties. So who do you think did all that? That was me. Now, it took a lot of years to develop. But what I want you to understand is that it doesn't have to take that long. But you're in business for long term. Build the relationships. Nurture them. They matter. You never know who's going to be who or who knows who. One lady we cleaned her carpets. And come to find out, she was friends with one of the Ravens football players. Next thing you know, we were cleaning 4 or 5 of the Ravens football players' houses. So you just don't know who knows who. Everyone is a golden opportunity. And that's the way you have to look at it as you build these relationships. Each relationship is important. And you get to find out some of those things by asking. For her, we happened to see that she had a picture of one of the Ravens football stars up on her wall that was signed. Wow, that's really cool. How'd you get that done? His wife is my best friend. Wow, that's really cool. By the way, here's our referral program. And she went through and did it. And she was getting her carpets cleaned for free. And we were getting great work. So that's all how it all works together. And that's what I wanted to help you build here is a program that will work together. Everything kind of builds on itself to make one big circle. So I stands for implementation. What does implementation mean? Implementation is the carrying out, execution, or practice of a plan, a map, a method, or any design for doing something. Implementation is the action that must follow any preliminary thinking in order for something to actually happen. How do I get a map so that I know what to follow? Actually, we have a webinar coming up on that. Why do I need a map? It's going to explain why and how to put one together. How do you get things to happen? You come out with long-term range goals, then you break them down into smaller pieces. Then you keep track and you become accountable. Usually to become accountable, you have to find somebody to help you. Who do you get to help? Good question. One, find somebody who's got what you have. Someone that's done this and can help guide you through it. You know, it's said that a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. So my goal here is to try and help all of you all become wise men. Now let's get in a little further into implementation. Everybody seems to have the instinctive sense that something is needed. It is not difficult to want to determine a problem in a certain case. It's not even difficult for someone to give suggestions for change or modification. Coming up with a good idea is not the problem. People do it every day. Implementation and results is what makes the difference. That's what separates the heroes from the zeros. The first thing you need to do is set up a schedule and keep it. If you are too busy, then you need to hire somebody. Relationships are built on and lost on reliability, character, and trust. There are very few companies that make a schedule that they honor consistently. I believe that you can do average work and be reliable, and because you are dependable, you will keep your business growing. So as I stated before, I was an apartment maintenance supervisor. One day, my wife was complaining to me that I was giving too much to my company, that I wasn't spending enough time with family. Same morning I got to work and my regional supervisor was there and she said, you know what? You're not doing enough for us. You need to give us more. I looked her in the eye and said, you know what? Do you have somebody who wants this job? She said, yes. I said, great. Because I heard that complaint this morning and the woman I was sleeping with isn't happy. So I'm just going to move on. So I had to look at all the things I knew. You know, I knew heating and air conditioning. I knew plumbing. I knew electric. I could do all those things. But I looked at one that I thought was having the most trouble, and that was the carpet cleaners that showed up. You know, they showed up in raggedy clothes. The equipment leaked and didn't work. They never showed up on time. They never charged what they said they were going to charge. I'm going, if I dress professionally, show up on time, and do a good job, I was pretty confident that I would be better than all the rest of the carpet cleaning companies that were out there. Just by virtue of keeping my promises and arriving at the job professionally dressed, I was head and shoulders above the competition. And I still believe that today. There are a lot of people that just don't dress the part. If you want to set yourself up as a professional, then dress as a professional. And that's usually not a t-shirt and a pair of shorts or cut off jeans. You know, you got to dress the part. But I also realized I didn't have all the technical knowledge. So since I wanted to be the best I could be, I'd heard about the IICRC and their certifications. So I made a commitment to attend these classes. So I started going there, gaining knowledge, so I could solve my clients' problems, so I could find the answers. It expanded my understanding about the latest technology so that I could use the best chemistry and the best equipment to provide the best cleaning services. Because I knew that the biggest cost in doing this work is labor. So if I had the right products to clean with and the right equipment to clean with, I could cut down on labor. And therefore I could make more money and do a better job, which gave me more time to actually spend with the client, to build that relationship, to grow and to become stronger. I didn't learn how to just get stains out. I learned how to get the carpets dry faster, how to make carpet fibers feel softer and supple, and how to make sure homes were not just clean, but were a healthy environment. When you provide a service to this level of quality, it helps to build trust. And it doesn't matter what your price may be or what your time frame is. If your client doesn't trust you, they will not hire you. They will not buy from you. Trust is a big key that you have to build. And that's, again, can be done with consistency and reliability. Help build those things. So I wanted to find out what separated me from other companies. So I worked to be the best, and I learned more information. And I decided to become an information-based company. I wanted to be a company that could give you information. I wanted to be the go-to guy. If you had a problem, came to me. I could tell you what kind of carpet to buy. I could consult with you on how to get stains out. Not everybody used me. Somebody thought I was too high priced, so they'd use somebody cheaper. And that was okay. I just wanted them to go have the right knowledge. Sometimes they used those other people and there was mistakes and I had to come fix them. I actually got paid more money to come fix them. But that wasn't what I wanted to be. I just wanted to be the expert in my field. For customers to come to any time they had a problem. Once I had a client that I did a great job for, but unfortunately I failed to implement by staying in touch and planned to include her. She knew that my truck looked like, but she did not know my name or my business number. She told all of her friends to look out for my truck. It took her 3 months to locate me. The moral of the story is implementing your plan to stay in contact so that you can make things happen. The good news is that all of her friends used me because of her referral. If she was willing to wait that long for me, my company, and me to do the right job, her friends concluded that I had to be the best around. But that's why I started doing regular meeting with the customers. That's why I say you can do now you can do email newsletters. We do them twice, and then on the third month we go ahead and mail it out. We'll send out an email and do mail. So that way we're in touch with everybody at least every 3 months, quarterly. So that way, because a lot of our cleaning is done by an event, something that's happening. We'd like to get everybody to just plan their carpet cleaning, but it doesn't happen. Somebody spills something, a dog gets sick, my mother-in-law is coming over. Something causes them to get their carpets clean. It's not usually done by planning. Now I'm trying to educate them to be better on that, and that's what I would suggest to some of you, to try to educate them, to become better, to help them become better. That's the key in this business, is to help them to grow and have knowledge. Save them money. Again, in one of them I'll share the story. You can save money by getting your carpets cleaned on a regular basis. Carpet prices are continually going up. They are oil-based, petroleum product-based products. The price of oil and stuff keeps going up. The prices of carpet keep going up. One of the few things that doesn't seem to be going up in our industry is carpet cleaning prices. And I'm not sure why that is, except that we haven't educated the customers enough, our clients, on why they need their carpets cleaned and the importance of keeping their carpets clean. The key to making this comprehensive relationship building program work is the need to be personable. You need to make sure that you lock in with them, have personal contact so that customers can find you when they need you. You need to find out about them. What are their needs? How can you help them fulfill their needs? Not what you want, what they want. That's the important part. That's how you build this. And that's where implementation comes in. To be around them, talk to them, make it a personal thing. G stands for guide. What is a guide? A guide is a person who leads or shows the way. You can do it on your own, make mistakes, or spend money on things that you don't work. A guide is someone to help you through your difficulties, to take you where you have not been, but they have been. A guide is someone that when time gets tough and you start to doubt yourself, can help strengthen you and let you know that you can get through this. Together, you make a team. And you can strengthen one another and grow from there. All the truly successful people have coaches or guides. All the football players, all the baseball players. Tiger Woods, he has a swinging coach, a putting coach. He has 4 or 5 different coaches and guides. Now, if the guy is number 1 in the country, needs a coach or a guide, what makes you any different? A lot of times I've thought about that and going, man, I sit and watch people struggle and make mistakes and going, why are they doing that? You know, why don't they just ask for some help? It's amazing to me how little people are willing to ask for help. And a lot of times it's hard if it's somebody in your area because they feel as if you're competition. I didn't have that problem. I didn't mind helping other people. I actually helped 2 or 3 people start companies in my area, who would later on went and sold stuff, sold their business and did things, went on to other endeavors. But still, I didn't have a problem helping people. I figure the more people that are doing a good job and doing it right, the better our industry is going to be. And that's my goal, is to build this whole industry up. Let's get rid of the guys trying to do $5.95 a room. Let's explain to people that that just can't be done. You just can't make any money that way. And if you can't make any money that way, you can't do the job right. And if the job's not done right, why do you want to pay any money for it? You might as well just let the carpet get dirty and then just replace it. Spend $4,000 or $5,000 every couple of years and just put in new carpet. I know a lot of people are going, and they're going to hardwoods because people aren't maintaining their carpets. If we could teach them to maintain their carpets, the carpets are meant to last. But they've got to buy the right fiber and the right density for what's going on in their home. And the problem is, the carpet salesmen don't even care. I've sat around in places watching carpet salesmen sell. I was there at Lowe's once and watched a mother and daughter looking at a carpet, and they're running their hands over them, and they're looking at the color. They're going, well, we really like this one. The carpet salesman didn't ask, what kind of place it was going in. I'm sure he knew it was residential, but he didn't ask how many kids they had, how many dogs they have, what's their lifestyle like, or anything. Sure, that would be a great carpet for you, and then it doesn't last. And then people go, man, I spent $5,000 for carpet, and it only lasted 2 years. Because they don't know they're supposed to clean it. They don't know they're supposed to take care of it. It's not the right fiber for their circumstances, and so it doesn't work out. Another good example for coaching, for me, I love to fly fish. So I was up in the Salmon River in New York State, and there's nothing more beautiful than watching salmon running up the river to spawn in the fall. I needed directions to the river. I wanted to purchase some bait. So I went to a local fly shop where they could give me guidance on what bait the fish were biting on and how to get directions to the river. The riverbank was packed with people, shoulder to shoulder. I watched other people catch fish all around me. Thankfully, the guy beside me started a conversation with me. I told him how much I've always wanted to fly fish and that this was my first time fishing for salmon. He laughed and explained how the whole process of developing fly fishing skills to catch salmon running up the river took time. He said the first year you spend most of your time casting your line. By the end of the second year, you figured out how to hook the fish. And finally, by the third year, you start landing them. I couldn't believe it. After a day of not having any success and talking to others, I discovered he was right. So here I'd gone and spent, close to $100, $125. It's not the equipment because I already had the equipment. Just buying some flies, getting license and all that stuff. Spent 7 hours on the river to catch nothing. I could have spent $300 and had somebody take me out for 4 hours and probably caught fish and landed them and had a great time. So that's where the guide comes in. That's just a simple example with a fly fishing guide. Go into an unfamiliar neighborhood, you're going to go fishing, hire a guide to take you. Learn the techniques of that area. I can generally catch fish a lot of places. But when you're going someplace new and you're just driving up, you don't even know if you have the right kind of flies for that time of year and that type of weather. The same is true in business. What works best that time of year? You can't take a great marketing piece that made you great money in the summer, might not work in December. The things you do to market and grow. And that's where a guide can come in. Someone who's already done it, who's been through that, who's had a business for years. Find somebody who's been successful and then ask them for help. Sure, it may cost you a little money. Our coaching program is $300 a month. With that, we're going to help you develop a plan. We're going to help you develop marketing strategies. We're going to help you develop marketing pieces. And with all that coming together, you can help grow your business. It's a whole lot easier with a plan laid out and people helping you to grow. You don't have to do this by yourself. And $300 is nothing. $300 is one job, maybe one and a half jobs. So if I could pick you up one and a half extra jobs a month, we'd break even. If I pick you up 5 or 6 jobs extra a month, you're making money. If I get you into that 10 to 12 extra jobs a month, it is more than worth it. So think about that and look forward as you go forward. The H and the T stand for higher training. Higher training is the way to take you to another level. Higher learning is ongoing process and should never end. Success in your industry depends heavily upon knowing latest technologies and processes related to your industry. You must continue your education so that you can offer what others don't. Education will set you apart from others. So now that you've got some basics, you need to keep going. In my business, I always took the carpet cleaning course. I took it about every 2 years, all the time. Not always from what I'd learned from the instructor or from what was there, but from what I learned from other people in the class. I love to gain knowledge from wherever I can get it. And now that we've got the internet, man, it's almost unstoppable what you can learn. But it's nice to learn from separate people. And you can't believe everything you hear on the internet. Let me put that out there now. Because some of them say, well, it never bothered me. That don't mean it won't cost you money sometimes. So you've got to listen, gain from an overall perspective, and ask other people. I don't like mixing chemicals myself. I generally have to ask people. I'll ask the manufacturer, can I mix this and this together? Or the distributor, somebody that knows. Somebody has a better understanding of chemistry. Another good way is not just IICRC courses, there's also RIA courses. There's RSA has some courses. There's the NADCA if you're doing duct cleaning and stuff. Gain the knowledge in there. Because with that knowledge, you'll be able to, if you clean better and faster. And again, as I shared earlier in this webinar, labor is the most cost efficient, which costs you the most. If you can get them to do a better job at a faster time, they're going to be happier. You're going to be happier. You can make more money. And that's what we're all in this for. We're not in this just to have something we can go do every day. And the bottom line is we're trying to use this company, or your job, to be able to do the other things in life you want to do. Not for it to consume everything that you do. In the beginning, it does consume a lot. There's no doubt about it. Some other courses I really enjoyed. Toastmasters. I was having trouble speaking with people, getting out in front of people. Once I started doing Toastmasters, it became fun. I started to enjoy it. I didn't have a problem with it. I'm actually better speaking in front of people than I am speaking to this computer because I love looking at people. I love watching them, seeing their expressions. I can see if we're engaging or not. Here, I just got to guess that I'm engaging with you. I'm hoping that I'm engaging with you. So it's nowhere near as interactive. I'm that interactive guy. I like to get out in front of people. Just sending letters all the time isn't going to get it done. You're going to need to do some networking. You might need to call them on the phone. Say, hey, it's been almost 2 years since we cleaned your carpet. Just wanted to call and see how everything was going. Is there anything in particular I can help you with? Is there a stain maybe you can't get out? I can talk you over the phone on how to fix. Show some interest in them. How many carpet cleaners would call and do that? Have you ever had a plumber call you and say, hey, we did your heat and air conditioning 3 years ago. It's usually a good time to give it a good checkup, but does it seem to be working all right for you? Great, fine, no problem. If it does start to act up or you don't think it's working efficiently, give us a call and we'll give it a tune-up. We'll take care of it for you. Things like that can be done all the time. And all it takes is a couple minutes of your time, a little bit of your energy. But you've got to be willing to do it on a consistent basis. Again, consistency is the key. You want to get them to be consistently using you, and you need to be consistently talking to them, giving them educational pieces. We have a lot of that already developed here at Worldwide Cleaning Industry Resources. So give us a call. Let's work together. Together we can raise this to a whole new level. And if you don't use me, that's fine. Get another coach. Find somebody who has what you have and that's willing to share with you the knowledge and grow and become more than you are today. Okay, so what was the lesson here? This jar represents your life. The golf balls are the important things: God, family, children, health, friends, and your favorite passions. Things that if everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the things that matter, like your job, your house, and your car. The sand is everything else, all the small stuff. What happens if you put the sand into the jar first? So that small stuff is answering this little phone call, putting out this little fire, doing this, doing that, running to the mailbox. All that stuff that seems can fill up your time. And if you fill up your jar with all that little stuff, there's no room for the big stuff. There's no room for you to build your business, no room for you to build your family ties, no room for you to go fishing if that's your favorite pastime. So you can't fill the jar up with all that little stuff. And it happens all the time. You know, everybody does it. Sooner or later, there's a day that, have you ever run around all day long, been totally exhausted at the end of the day, and looked back and went, huh, I haven't accomplished a daggone thing today. I've done nothing but waste time. I was really busy, but didn't get anywhere. Now, there have been times in my life where it seemed like I went weeks that way. Well, man, I'm really busy, but there ain't no money in the bank. What's going on? What's wrong? And I was just running around doing stuff. And so you got to come from somewhere and get focused. And that's where a coach helps you, a guide will help you get these things done. If there's no room for the pebbles or the golf balls, then you just become busy and your life becomes empty. You get to be awful lonely. So you want to put the golf balls and the pebbles in first, and then let the sand and stuff be the fill-in to help fulfill your life, not the end all. Don't spend all your time and energy on the small stuff. Sometimes, you know, pick a big thing, get it out of the way first. Then you work your way down a little bit. And go, all right, now I'm going to spend an hour, hour and a half getting all this little stuff out of the way. If Don't let all the small stuff dictate your life. Don't let jumping on the computer for Facebook for a couple seconds drag into an hour. It happens all the time. Don't get into your emails. Go, all right, let me check my emails. And then check them again every 15 minutes. Sometimes maybe say, all right, I'm going to check my emails at 7:30 in the morning, 11:30, and 4:30. Okay? Come up with set times to do it. I'm going to spend a half hour doing emails. I'm going to spend a half hour on Facebook. I'll spend 15 minutes on Facebook. But it's going to be first thing in the morning, middle afternoon, and spread it out some. You can spend an hour each of those places. Just spread it out a little bit. Don't let it consume you. And then you got to cut it off. Because it's easy to start getting dragged into a thread or getting dragged in somewhere. As you can tell, I'm speaking from experience. Don't let things drag you away and you find out you were busy all day, but you didn't do anything all day. Because that just makes you go, what a waste. Build up your day. Get things going. All right, so let's recap today. Write smart. You want to do relationships. You want to go through and see what relationships you want to grow in the next year. That you want to develop and strengthen so that you can build your business or family relations, whatever you're trying to go through and do. Implementation. Once you know what you want to work towards, now you want to start implementing. Come up with a plan. Come up with a map to get this done. You want to find a guide, someone who's been successful in this end, to go ahead and do it. I wouldn't be the best guide for you if you want to build relationships with significant others. I'm not a marriage counselor. Let me put it that way. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm a great relationship guy, but I'm not great on marriage counseling. That's why I'm on my third marriage. Okay. Although this one's lasted a while, so I'm doing pretty well. All right. And hire training. Look at training that you need to help grow you, to make you a better person, to help strengthen you in what you're trying to do, to help improve your life. Look at what areas you're weakest in and see where you want to grow. There's some areas I'm weak in I don't ever want to grow in. I just hire other people to do those areas. Okay? So strengthen yourself. Now work together, get a plan, and let's get going. Let's make this a successful year. All right, so here we are wrapping this up. Here's my contact information. Randy Pierce, 8734 County Route 70, Avoca, New York, 14809. Feel free, drop me a line. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you've picked up my book, Clean It, already. Call me, 443-277-1874. Text me. Text me with questions. Text me with answers. Whatever you'd like. I'm here to help you. My email is randy@wwcir.com. Shoot me a line. Let's connect. Let's work together. Let's build your business to a level that you never dreamed possible.